everybody? Welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to talk about this news that came out yesterday, that Disney and Marvel, may actually be thinking about having an Avengers Con, or a Marvel MCU Con, or whatever they're going to end up calling it. And it's funny because this is something that's been, ironically, it's been in multiple things. Weirdly enough, surrounding Ms. Marvel, ironically. So, Kevin Feige at the premiere of Ms. Marvel that happened yesterday. So, more people reviewed it. I'm hearing such great things about Ms. Marvel. Can't wait. Excited. Hyped for it. I've always said Ms. Marvel seemed to me like a modern-day version of Peter Parker Spider-Man, and it feels like that's the vibe we're going to go for as her in high school. But he's he's more family-oriented because she has her mom and dad and parents and brothers. So, no one died for her to become a superhero. Crazy, ain't it? I digress. The demeanor and the feel around her always felt like a modern day Spider-Man. Anyways, I love those. I dug those Ms. Marvel comics. Apparently, in the show, which you've seen in the trailer, she goes to an Avengers Con. There's an Avengers Con event that's kind of like a Star Wars celebration, but for the Avengers. And, the vibe I got, and to be funny, the thing is, in the Avengers video game, that event, Avengers Con, is happening at that place too, where she gets her superpower. So there are multiple, even in that game, she gets her superpowers from a location where they're, from an Avengers Con event. And the thing about it is, I've often thought about this for quite a while. Ever since, 2013? No. 20... What was it? Was it 20? No. It was like 2015, 2016, something like that. I can't remember. It was like 2016, 2015, where I think it was 2015, when they did that whole Al Capitan thing where Kevin Feige and them just picked a time and a place, invited a bunch of people, and then just announced all of their future. And they had Chadwick Boseman come on stage to be announced as Black Panther, and it was crazy, that was such a huge event. And I often thought to myself, I'm like, I don't know why Marvel wouldn't just do an event on their own. They're big enough to do one on their own. Now maybe I would make it now to be fair, to be have a huge event to show up to, I would expand it out. I'd have it be not only that, I'd have to be video games and the whole 9 yards. I'd have to be video games and not just the movies and cartoons and shows and all of it. I would have to be all of it, and then of course, DC did their whole fandom thing, which to be fair, fandom is cool in theory, but fandom, to me, fandom kind of sucked because it's because they extend it out so far. You're showing up to they force you to sit through, because you don't know when things are gonna happen. So you're forced to sit through hours of shit that you don't care about just to get 20 to 25 minutes of things you actually do care about, which is on that note, which is why I think fandom as an entire experience is kind of a failure. Not that it doesn't work, and if you're a huge DC fan, I'm sure you get more out of it than I do. But when I'm dude, I showed up here to see Black Adam. I showed up here to see what you say something about the Green Lantern show that you're working on. I showed up to see, you got say something about Superbad, say something about The Flash, say something about Wonder. I'm here to see this shit, and you're talking about all this other shit that no one cares about. So DC fandom to me is kind of, it's whatever. But Marvel has a chance to do a really good event, really Star Wars Celebration event, a 2-night, 3-night event. They can they host that shit in New York City. You can have all these people show up. You can get Chris Hemsworth, all these big stars, show up. You can promote the comics. You can promote the comics. You can promote some of the cartoon shows you're working on, because it's easy to forget. All of Marvel as a whole is underneath Kevin Feige. It's something that hasn't really been talked about a lot because really we just focus on the MCU proper stuff. But X-Men the animated series, which there have been rumors it may be sort of canon, but as far as we know for now, X-Men the animated series is really the first animated show that has absolutely nothing to do with the MCU that Kevin Feige is working on. Which awesome. So we might get more of that. There are some other cartoon shows. There are some, honestly, this event, because let's face it, it's the reason I've thought for a long time that Marvel hasn't had their own fan event, like their own con event, like event just to themselves, is because Disney needs them to promote Disney Plus. They need them to promote D23. They need them to promote their Disney Plus Day, because everyone sits around to hear about the Marvel stuff. I remember the first time they after the first year of Disney Plus, when they had their whole, when Bob Iger was still running the show, and they had their whole event, the awesome event where we got like all these crazy show announcements and stuff, when like everyone was waiting around for the sorry, neighbor just started his motorcycle. But everyone was waiting around for the Disney Plus show. Everyone was waiting around for that. Everyone was waiting, not for Disney, but for the Marvel stuff. Everyone was waiting for the Marvel stuff. Everyone was anticipating the Marvel stuff. Like, that's literally what everyone was doing. And I remember it like yesterday. So Disney, to a lesser extent, does need the MCU stuff to be on their events to promote them. So maybe that's why they've been hesitant. But I really do hope that Kevin Feige can get, because it sounds like Kevin Feige really wants to do this. I really hope he can get this off the ground. I don't know what they would call it. Would they call it MCU Con, Avengers Con, Marvel Con? I mean, maybe call it Marvel Con. Maybe that'd be good. Marvel Con. Just Marvel Con. You know, so that way you can have the whole umbrella thing underneath it. You can have some fucking comic book writers come out there. You can have some exclusive, you know, some comics that are just coming out that day put out there. You can announce a bunch of stuff here. Like, it could be the biggest event of the year if they do it correctly. So I'm excited about this idea. What do you guys think of the MCU/Marvel as a whole having their own fan event, having their own Star Wars celebration-like event around to you know, promote all their stuff all on this day? What do you guys think? Would you go see it? I would. Honestly, I would think about putting some money and going there. Like, I would. And I would scream the whole fucking thing on my channel. Wouldn't that be dope? Anyway, thank you guys for joining my Comic Game Show again. Please leave me a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. Comment below. What do you think of this, and would you go to that event? Thank you guys again. I'll see you on the next one.